say something very real here. I didn't know. Here, let me set the intro in. So this is me, Business from Heaven, with another video. It's been a while since I've done the JoJolion video. Apparently 2 months because I thought the latest chapter was 108, and I don't know why I thought that because it's not the 20th. I started seeing JoJo hype. I was thinking, okay, well, it's a new one, right? I just never watched the old one. Let me make sure my camera's looking good. So yeah, I never read the old one. Chapter 108, I'll give my thoughts after doing a live read from 109, but I thought 108 is the penultimate chapter. I was like, okay, this is pretty. You could conclude this is going to be very simple. You can conclude this like this. But then apparently this Radio Gaga incident, which I've seen the meme of Radio Gaga incident like on Twitter. Like, this is like some kind of cure shit, and it's like this barren wasteland, which might be a panel from here. I'm not sure, but I saw this. I'm like, okay, I'm clearly one chapter back. And shout out to KTT too. Shout out to the homie Love, doing the most. Let me see. Rocky lost the plot. Love's OG. Either this is the most genius thing that Rocky pulls off, or fucking stupid. I don't want to use. I don't want to use KTT like the summer, like the microcosm of how JoJo fans feel right now. Before I can tell, a lot of people are like a little bit, taken aback by this ending so quickly. And if you read, I mean, Love is like an OG JoJo fan, and like if you read some of this man's comments, it really is like a lot of, I guess, brevity that flash. I think most people's problems like how does this tie into the flash forward? Plus, well, let's say major problems because people have some like conjecture, like Carrera won't be explained or re-mentioned, or some guys went development together that we kind of wanted. Like we wanted to see a more fleshed out instance of Josuke returning back to the Higashikata estate, maybe seeing Jobin post heel turn, or seeing Yasuho after being messed up by the Higashikata family, or all these different things that people want to see. People want to see more natural relationships to kind of see the fallout of the major events that occurred, starting 20 chapters ago. That's fine. I could understand that, and I wanted it to. But like, as far as major problems, I think the two big ones is how does this tie into Holly, who the Holly, Yoshikage, Josefume, that whole thing like really has like not gotten a true, wrapping the gift, so to speak. And then the flash forward, which is like pretty much the most weighty moment of JoJo, probably like period. Like I mean, I would say that at the very least, at that time, because we saw Norisuke, dead or presumed dead, which we find out he actually is, dead. And we also see a lot of things that seem to have had weight or supposed to have weight. Tsurugi burying Norisuke, then we kind of get this moment of Jobin being like clearly against the idea of following the Higashikata way, quote unquote, and trying to take his own way. So a lot of things, and you kind of have Tsurugi's side with Jobin, and then Mitsuba's side with Jobin, and all these things that seem to have a lot of gravity, pretty much. In a sense, only had relevancy for like fleeting moments, like the whole alliance between these three Higashikatas against the Red Higashikatas. We wanted Josuke to be one of those, the Red Higashikatas, but like none of that really, I guess, matters now. So I mean, it just pretty much, I guess, like lowers the ceiling of what this series was kind of supposed to be. Like it could have been a series that I guess shot for the stars and gave you, oh, here's the main villain, but here's the main villain. And we always kind of thought, or here's the main villain is going to be Jobin, but it ended up being no other main villain. It just ended up being Toru, which I don't know. But we're going to get to this. Let me take a break here. How do I turn this off?
This is for heaven.
All right. So the Radio Gaga incident, we have soft and wet and blazing The Joe Star. I'm guessing that is. Is that a horse? I thought this was like one of the rock humans initially, but I don't believe it is. And then we have. I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know who that is. I wanted to say like someone from Part 7, but I don't think it is. This seems to be like behind, like before the actual Higashikata become relevancy or become relevant. Relevancy? What the fuck is wrong with me? Relevant. And if you remember, like the end of 108 is like Toru saying like, "Oh, this is like divine intervention. This fruit, like it's basically what God gave us." World War II times. Like this is massive. Like so probably reaching back into the depths of what happened. I wanted to say it was a Part 7 character, but I don't think it's who I think it is. So I'm not going to predict it. So I don't want to be wrong. Let me guess, by that, you're trying to say that your job is being the driver. This seems like a pretty bad translation. And because your hands are hurt, you're sticking to purely the domain of picking me up and driving. It says something about what's written on the contract when they registered me. You won't carry my suitcase to your car. Listen, if this is the last part, Araki's wit, dude. Araki's wit sets him apart from like 90% of mangakas. It was Lucy. That's who I thought it was, but I didn't want to really say it was Lucy. Is it actually Lucy? Or am I like... It says pick up steel something, so I'm thinking it's Lucy. That's what I thought it was, but... I've had quite a long journey and I'm rather tired. As a woman of my age, going to have to bow my head and ask meekly that you... Go ho, go ho. It's an interesting sound. If you wouldn't mind, thank you. I don't know who this is going to be. Dude's an asshole. I'm a simple driver. This may be stepping out of bounds of my occupation. Oh, so this is like a Part 5 like topic, like stealing people's shit. As soon as they step down into the country, I would venture to guess that from personal experience that man, you just gave your bags maybe a luggage thief. And I do believe he's already running off in a direction completely different from that of my car. Lucy has like jowls now, dude. How old she is? She'd be like 70. Is this a rock human who stole her shit? Did she have the fruit? There's pictures of the fruit in that suitcase, I think. Maybe a rock human realized that she was going to be a mark. Is this a soccer dude? No, it's just a normal kick. I thought it was a soccer rock human. There's two of them, so I don't know why I thought it was only one, but... That motherfucker, big boot. Alright, I'm fucking up the left and rights now. You alright. Is that Toru? I think that's Toru, isn't it? But why would Toru have the soft and wet and blazing? 20,000 an hour, holy shit. This dude is just fumbled the bag, dude. Goodness gracious, damn George Jefferson hair having ass. So she took Toru to the Higashikata estate. That's the orc of the Radio Gaga Incident. The Radio Gaga. So is that what they call the catastrophe that occurred? I believe, I forgot like exactly all that happened, but the thing that like people thought it was happening by the eyes of or the walls of heaven, or what do they call it? I forgot what they call it, but it's like the eyes or something like that, the memorial eyes or something like that. Wall's eyes? Is it wall eyes? I'm not sure, but it's something like that. Like it has wall and eyes. Are you with the police, madam? I'm like 99% sure that's Toru. Thanks for your help with the bags, Fumi-kun. Oh, that's Joseph Fume? Is that why it had a soft one? Hold on, let me see. I haven't seen Joseph Fume in a while. Is that who that is? Does that look like Joseph Fume? It was like Joseph Fume to me. Are you with the police, madam? No, I'm not. Thanks for your help with the bags. Fume-kun. It's me over here. Where were you waiting long? Were you waiting long? Well, I mean, Joseph Fume wouldn't even be alive right now. I just thought about that. Joseph Fume shouldn't be alive right now. Where are you going to take me next? The amusement park? My wallet. Lucy Steele. That's who I thought it was. I work for a group dedicated to the Speedwagon Foundation. Okay, listen, I was telling my boy Love that we were going to reference Part 7 somehow. And they did reference Part 7, which is all I care about. I just need to reference Part 1 through 6, and the finale is perfect to me. I specialize in botany and geomorphology. I'm here to investigate that land. Also, it's not Madam, I'm single. Oh, Stephen Still is dead. R.I.P. So you're not investigating a crime, then. This dude's so fuck. Like, he has to be like somebody that is a dangerous person. Why is he doing this chapter now? Like, I understand that, like, it could end up being pretty good. I mean, it's still like 30 pages left, right? But like, I don't understand the timing of this. Like, Araki had to pull off some crazy shit with that final chapter to make this doing an expositional, like, foundation of the whole like memorial walls thing now. I mean, it's just weird. A farm truck happened to pass by them. She was in fucking Yetis on her. I know where she disappeared. Maybe what's his name? Vanilla Ice. The fucking the stand is like 8 motherfuckers in part 3. At part 3, what the fuck is wrong with these people, dude? I fucking hate everybody in the series, dude. Why in God's name would I type in part 3 Polnareff versus anybody and you give me fucking Diavolo? This is ridiculous. Like, hold up. Look at this shit. What kind of morons is fucking putting this shit in? This is why I hate part 5. I'm taking a tangent, dude. This is why I hate part 5 fans. Who is typing that shit in? Why is part 5 Polnareff even bigger than part 3? He's literally one of the 3 biggest protagonists in part 3. Why is his part 5 moment triumphing even the moments where he was more relevant? Let me make sure I'm recording. I actually don't know if I'm recording or not. Let me check my audio real quick. I'm hoping I'm recording. I don't think he's using the mic I wanted to use, but fuck it. Who cares, dude? I mean, what can you do? I don't know. Anyway, we're getting through this very slowly. What the fuck? I'm just typing ice. Hopefully they give me Vanilla Ice. That's what his name was. That's what I thought it was. Fuck me. I'm an idiot. Vanilla Ice's stand is what I was referencing. For an hour, we should be back by dusk. Can I count on you for that? That's a great condition. They call me Fume-kun. I don't think this is our Joseph Fume. I don't know who this is, but it's not our dear Joseph Fume. So I'm just imagining, like I said, the Higashikata estate hasn't been established yet. Now, how do the Higashikatas relate to this? I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out. The memorial hunting grounds in which Vanilla Ice is eating out here. Is this a rock human? I feel like this is a rock human. Gonyo, Gaga. Shout out to Shizuyu Higashikata. This is a reference to not Higashikata, Shizuya Joestar. Shout out to her. It's a reference to her right here. The stand is like the new. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. We saw a foot and we saw a hand. I was thinking Yoshikage Kira for a second. He only had a hand thing, and the foot would make me think that it couldn't be a Yoshikage Kira reference. They even like put bone in there. Holy shit! Shout out to Araki. What do you mean? What is that? You fucking moron! It's a hand. I wonder how many times that truck comes by. To explain further, the land had a special part of bringing the latent abilities of a human heart. She was way too young. Never mind. I was going to say something crazy, but shout out to Lucy still. I forgot how young Araki wrote Lucy. I forgot he like made her like a fucking like a teen or some shit like that. Like Araki is a weird thing when it comes to like drawing I'm not even going to it, dude. It's his manga. It's his choice. Do what he does. Yeah, okay. It's affecting her. She put her hands on the guardrail. I don't know if that's the trigger. Let's see. Let's try to go back real quick. I want to say that's a trigger, but I'm not sure. No, he didn't put his hands on the guardrail. He was just standing by the car. So there's nothing similar in it affecting her and how it affected him. Mm, the guardrail itself is like a stand. Is it autonomous? I don't. Because like the way I always looked at the sleeping slaves stand is that like he essentially didn't control it. The guy that was in part five, he's basically like a victim of the stand in essence. It was a little representation of it. It's probably one of the weirder stands like that, and the the dragon joint from part six that was like look like that stand and this fate stand from part five were like the kind of the weirder stands to me because they weren't like actual. Like he could control the guy from part six could control kind of how things went in a sense, but and also he couldn't. I don't know. Let's finish reading this out. Give me orders when I say to come close, you come. Oh, so it sucks them in. Oh, oh, not Lucy. Why is Fumi not helping? Slurp. Is it eating her? This is more like that Vanilla Ice than I thought. But she doesn't have a stand as far as I'm aware. Not sure she can do. Damn, not like this, man. We can't get introduced to to Lucy after like a decade just for her to get like one shot in by a steel rail. That wouldn't be ideal. I don't know what this is. Is it like it looks like there's like shoot up things left behind? I'm guessing like it looks like entrails and stuff like that. And that appears to be a face. So I'm guessing like the remnants of the things that whatever the stand is ate before. Okay, I'm gonna say it right now. Let me actually take one more like cut and then come back. I'm gonna say something here. This doesn't end with some kind some kind of notion of continuation. This part will have a horrible ending. I'm gonna be honest with you because this screams to me to be one of two things. Going into the conclusions of I guess kind of how the Mariah eyes were formed, and then extending the concept of fate a little bit longer to another part, and then maybe explaining kind of the natural occurrence of why the Devil's Palm happened and why the Mariah eyes kind of stemmed and what produced the Rokakaka. That underlying theme, that stuff that also I guess connects and maybe even spawns the ideas of fate and calamity. That thing is going to be the crux of part nine. It's going to be like what makes part nine tick. And this last chapter has to connect into that because it appears to me to be either that or it's going to be Sleeping Slaves, where we get some ass fart of a bow put onto the prevailing thematic, such as what part five did. And if that happens, this stinks. this stinks because I don't know what the fuck is happening. It didn't even mildly address anything except maybe the idea of where the bodies go after they fall into the Memorial Eyes. I'm assuming that this is, in essence, going to lead into the Memorial Eyes. So that seems to be the most plausible scenario. But I mean, again, I think it stems back to the flash forward, and just giving my thought to the even my thought of 108. I thought 108 was great. Like I thought 108 pretty much did a good job of ending the main conflict that they were experiencing. Toru died, the curse was broken, and the curse was the biggest part of everything that occurred, and then it appeared the Rokakaka was gone, from what I can understand. And you would take two more chapters after that to probably conclude everything else that wasn't done in a conventional story. But Araki isn't a conventional writer, and that's for certain. So I'm left here. Who's Fumi? Is that a person that has existed before this? No, this person has not existed before this. We know nothing about this guy. Okay, what the fuck is the Radio Gaga? It's just, oh my god, dude, this is unnerving. What I'm reading here, dude. The guardrails were revealed to be made of human remains. That's what I thought that was. JoJolion will conclude in this issue. I just want Josuke and Yasuho to be happy. Okay, so we have at least some kind of illusion that they will be featured in that final chapter. So maybe half of it is dedicated towards this, and then half of it is dedicated towards the fallout, possibly. I don't know why you would do this, dude. It's such a risk. It's such a risk to do what he's trying to do here, dude. Um, I'm at a loss of words, bro. I really am. I don't understand what you would do. This like, it's all about what you want to conclude, dude. And maybe the most important thing to conclude was just part eight, and then we continue part eight in part nine. We just keep on doing part nine. We keep on doing part eight. I think that's it's hard for me to see that happening, right? Like it really is. Like he's never just straight up continue like right after a direct sequel. That's never been his MO. And I think like our thought process in him doing this at all is him standing to it with traditions and doing the trilogies and the blah 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 and blah blah. And it's like the curse is broken, and Joker might be dead, and the calamity energy was deleted basically by maybe the Jesus energy, or maybe Johnny Joestar, or giving Josuke the powers that he did. But something gave. I just fucked my camera. I just hit the shit on my camera. But something gave him that energy. It's like I want to read that. Like this is the problem. I want to read about that stuff. And like I know I was saying like all this stuff, kind of like people just kind of wanting their own like kind of side relationships to be solved, or that stuff. I'm gonna be a victim of this here. I want to see why Josuke has the power he has in chapter 110 and chapter 109. I did not want to see why the Memorial Wall Eyes were what they were. You could do that in chapter 110 if you wanted to, but instead it appears that that won't be happening. I love 108. 108 was a really good chapter. People that say like it didn't, I don't think people really criticize at the moment, because now that I know, at the moment we didn't know it was going to be the second to last chapter or the third to last chapter. So people thought, hey, now we have like 5 more chapters to kind of get another volume to get the shit done. No, No, we don't have 5 more chapters. We don't even know why Wonder of You looks another person, because Satoru Akifu was a real person, as I understand. Like, it was a real human being. I might be wrong about that. Well, let me see. Let me see. So I know it was like a kind of a flashback where like he looked at a newspaper and it was like Satoru Akifu. Akifu's identity was stolen from an actual human doctor who was a graduate of Stege University. Tori's identity that the currently had doctor. So that was not it. I mean, here's my thing. How the fuck did he get that stand to like another human being? That's not even explained. One review's appearance differs depending on who sees it. In the general public, elderly hunched man. Yep. Where's bowler hat about blood since man? This is what it's true for this one. Yeah, I mean, it's still like, can it only turn into that doctor? Can it not turn to like, I don't know, like, what the fuck? That's cool as hell. I didn't know that's actually cool as shit. That only happens on this page. That's pretty fucking cool. Um, I don't know. That's very odd. It's an autonomous stand that seems to have pretty much the highest IQ that we've seen of really any stand, any autonomous stand, certainly. There's so many questions that I have about so many things that I don't think will get answered at all. But it even like kind of like notorious big can exist after death. And I mean I look up Go Beyond and it's like Go Beyond like isn't even like explained. I don't like I don't know, man. I mean we know like what it is. Essentially it's like the spin energy a la like Tusk Act 4. But like the birth of it, like where does it come from? It's hard for me to see part nine being like not being a direct sequel. I know it'll break tradition, but don't think there's any other way to conclude this series. I don't. I really don't know. I mean, like this would be like probably the worst ending if it goes like the way that it on paper looks like it go. But like I know Rocky, and he wouldn't just like drop garbage. Like I don't like the Sleeping Slaves ending very much because it just doesn't do anything. But like he ends part five very concisely. Like there's not anything left to chance. And then the last 2 episodes or whatever are like kind of like just icing on the cake, right? Part one, I think, ended very well. Part two ended. I mean, it was an ass pull, but it ended. You know, part three was fantastic. Dio and Jotaro. Part four ended well. Part six led into part seven, which okay. Part seven ended fairly well, but you know, did it end well? I'm not sure if it ended well. It ended. It ended and it set up part eight in a way. So I mean, you know, it wasn't intending on setting up part eight. It just intended to conclude part seven. Unlike part six, which clearly intended to set up conclude the entire universe, but set up part alternate universe. But this this would be disgusting if it's an end with setting up part nine. Rise of Chapter Flag should have been 40 plus chapters ago. I don't know where you put this at. Because, I mean, you don't want to, like, You could do it where you set up like half of what he's trying to do here and explain the memorial and all that stuff in like the beginning of part 8, and then like maybe conclude like Lucy Steele and blah blah blah, all that, and then do the back half of that now. But he's doing the entire thing now. Chapter 109, Fumi-kun is SBR's Joseph Joestar and biological dad Joseph Fume Kujo. I'm pretty sure he's related to Joseph Fume in some sense. He's probably been connected to Stans in some way after this. His name is Fumi, which I don't think you introduce that name unless you have. You can't just say Fumi and then like not obviously recognize that the relation to Joseph Fume. Like he has connections with Lucy Steele, has connections with Joestars. So we have the innate like crazy shit that like relates to Joestar. So he's a Joestar or a Kujo, which is a Joestar in another world. So he's an OG Kujo, and then Joestar, Lucy still connected to Joestars based on Johnny. Fuckery happens. Boom. There you go. Fumi gets his wallet stolen. Introduction, just like Joseph got his wallet stolen. We have a Johnny. We have a Johnny and Jonathan. We have a Josuke and Josuke. We have. I think that Jotaro's successor is supposed to be Joseph Fume's sister, Yoshikage's sister. No, Joseph Fume's sister. But we don't have a confirmed Jotaro yet. But we don't have a confirmed JoJolion. We don't have a confirmed Giorno. So we have another part to figure out the Joseph Fume and the. Maybe you could say that Giorno is kind of like our part 8 Josuke because he's a connection between two people. I don't know, but I can see Joseph being Joseph Fume or this Fume. And his outfit features horseshoes of Joestars, which it did, and it's off the wet head of Joseph Fume. Oh, good. That's fine with me. Let's actually redo it. I should just skim through it. Which means Joseph Fume's biological dad was likely Joseph/Fume, not Sada Fume Kujo. Since Fume was 67, Joseph Fume was born, which correlates with Joseph being Joseph having Josuke 65. That's when his divorce papers that Kiyome had in her bag in the bottom of C art. She cheated on Sada Fume Kujo. Reversed from the OG universe with Joseph cheated on Suzy Q with Tomoko. It's also explained Joseph Fume's birthmark since he is a descendant of the Joestar family, since Joseph is Johnny's grandson. This means that Joseph Fume is partially Kira's uncle, since with Joseph being his dad, he is Holly's half-brother, just like how Josuke was Holly's half-brother in part 4. And Holly is Kira's mom. Holly's half-brother, Joseph means that he's Holly's half-brother. It's like how Josuke was Holly's half-brother. I didn't ever put that two together. Josuke was Holly Joestar's half-brother in part 4. Because Holly was Joseph's son, or daughter, and then Josuke was Joseph's son. And that would make, like he says in 5 seconds, I'm going to cut this connection myself, but that would make Yoshikage the nephew of Joseph Fume, the same way that Jotaro was the nephew of Josuke Higashikata. And then I'm guessing that would mean that Josuke's part would be Yoshikage Kira. And Jotaro kills Yoshikage Kira in part 4, so that would mean Joseph Fume is Josuke part 8. So that means we don't have a Giorno and JoJolion, which means we're right back on pace. We're right back on pace at this point. That's actually, I gotta give him a thumbs up. that would mean we're right on pace of where we need to be. We have one part left. These parts, for the most part, have been a fusion of two different parts, 1 and 2 being part 7, and obviously you can count from there. So we just need to adapt part 5 and part 6. We need Josuke Higashikata part 8, Dappy, to have a kid that's a female, and then we need Johnny Joestar to have a kid with Diego Brando, who's dead in every contingency. And so is Johnny Joestar, I'm pretty sure at this point as well. So we just need a Johnny and Diego kid to pop up. And then we need Josuke Higashikata to have a kid. There we go. That's it. I'm done. Part 9 is on pace. We have everything working. Boom. Araki won. This is some of the best writing I've ever seen in my entire life. Araki has connected every part from the previous universe to this part. He's successfully concluded part 8. He defeated Calamity without using Ass Pool. I'm not being ironic there. He did defeat Calamity without using Ass Pool. That was very impressive. Let me tell you right now, there's not many writers who could set up something as fucking ridiculous as Calamity and defeat it without using Ass Pool. I watched T.A. Kubo fail to beat Ass Pools. He set up an Ass Pools. He couldn't beat the Ass Pools without using other Ass Pools. But Araki did it. But good writing. He maybe has some all-time great writing if he makes me not want to blow my shit out after reading the final chapter and being depressed. Because I'm going to be very depressed if that shit ends without having some conclusion to a connection to another part. This got to be a part 9. If it's not a part 9, this shit, oh goodness gracious.